I wanted to talk about nepotism and Nepo babies because I think I can offer a really unique perspective on this. For my entire life, have had, I'm not gonna lie, this bitterness and this jealousy and this thing that gets triggered in me about that's not fair, that's not justice, especially if I see someone who is really famous in the industry, that easily got in at a really young age due to their family. And I have an opinion about their talent or their lack of talent. And it's interesting because I feel like this conversation about nepotism, it's multidimensional, it's nuanced, it's not so black and white, right? Because I believe in abundance. I believe there's an abundance of opportunities. And I'm also connected to the reality of not every person grows up with the same level of privilege, not just financial privilege, but just the way emotionally they may have been raised in a household, access to information, knowing that certain modalities and coaching and different things exist. So I'm very clear about that. I'm clear about, I actually believe that there is room at the table for all of us. And I believe that there's an abundance, but I think that there's a scarcity mindset and there's a lot of things in our culture around scarcity. And I also think there is a way that people talk about hard work and what it is to work hard, where it's almost like you can hear it. Like there's a way that we hold what it is to work hard. There's a value. It's very American. I'm sure it's in other parts of the country, but it's a very American value of this notion of the American dream, working hard. You have to work hard for what you get, which I also don't believe is true. I've had it where I haven't worked hard and things have come to me really, really easily, or I've found them easy as I do them, and I've made way more money than when I'm working really, really, really hard, right? And I've also seen people in various industries and met people that have never had the experience of them having to work hard for money. And who knows if that's from their privilege, or also who knows if not just the privilege of the financial, but the privilege of if you grow up around wealth, or if you grow up around financial stability, or with certain values around money and certain beliefs around money that's been passed down from generations, that's also going to be around you in your environment, the way that your family and people around you talk about money. So who knows if it's also their belief system and also, the actual financial privilege. But it's interesting to me because I think it comes down to authenticity, to be completely honest, which I feel like everything always seems to come back there for me, right? Because I saw this post by this someone in the industry people consider a Nepo baby, and they were offended because they were saying, oh, well, if all the people in your family are doctors, you're naturally going to go into being a doctor. But nobody says, oh, nobody, but the person's been studying to be a doctor their whole life. So basically give them more credit. And then I looked it up and this person hadn't studied any of the things that they were being famous or known for. They had no training and didn't study it at all. At least to my knowledge of what I could find. So I was like, okay, that's inauthentic. But part of me was thinking, I actually have no problem with Nepo babies as long as they're not jerks about it. As long as they're not jerks about it and they acknowledge their privilege. Saying that someone's a Nepo baby doesn't equal that they're not talented, or doesn't equal that they don't deserve to be there. But it's also delusional. I think it's a little delusional to actually have some of these Nepo babies coming out and defending themselves and saying, oh, well, I work really hard. It's like, yeah, I don't doubt that you work hard. But again, see that like American culture coming in, like the justification, like I work hard, therefore I deserve, therefore it did not come to me easily. Like, where are the people that are just saying, yeah, it did come to me really easily and I'm so freaking grateful for it? Like, where are those people? Yes, of course, acknowledging the privilege. Of course, I am the daughter of this huge mogul, this huge mega millionaire, this huge actor, this huge writer. It was very natural and easy for me effortlessly to be in the industry. And even the ones that say, my parents didn't help me, right? Yeah, but if you are a famous person, if you are a daughter or a son or a child of a famous person, there's no way that even if they didn't help you, that you wouldn't naturally make your own connections along the way, that people don't already have a built-in listening of your talent, assuming that you're amazing, a built-in listening of your brand because of who you come from. And I just wish that the Nepo babies could just be, they didn't have to like justify or like prove to us that they worked hard, that we could believe that they're hard workers, or that they still have to show up and do the work now, right? Just because they got their foot in the door. But where are the people that are just able to say, yeah, you're right, I'm a Nepo baby, I was born to this and this person. It was much easier for me than it probably is going to be for most of the people who are trying to break into the industry. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Yes, I am privileged. I'm so grateful. And I get that it's not fair. And there's a lot of things that aren't fair in this world. And also, like, I even had this like really cool thought. I don't know if other Nepo babies even think this, of how cool would it be to have Nepo babies, I don't know, be inspired to create some sort of pathway for the people who didn't have those connections, right? Because I just think it's authentic. I think anyone in this world, if you had your mother or your father or someone that you were connected to in your life that you already had that built-in relationship with, that you could use that name or use that connection. You know, I've had friends who have helped me get jobs because they're my friend. I have people that I met. It's I think pretty much probably at least, not everyone. I can't speak for everyone, but I think that's actually very normal. And you know, goodness knows, I wish that I love my mom and my dad. I don't wish that I didn't have different parents, but goodness knows if my dad or my mom were, you know, in the entertainment industry and big names in the entertainment industry, I'd be like, holla freaking Luya, you know, holla freaking Luya. And I would, of course, utilize those connections. Of course, like that just makes sense to me, unless I felt the need to justify or prove that the only way you could get there was through hard work. So anyway, I think there's like a few kind of inauthenticities that I was just sharing about to be acknowledged. Just this notion of, why do we feel like we have to prove it was really hard, or we're a hard worker, that's why we deserve to be there, right? And why can't Nepo babies just own that they're Nepo babies and own, yes, it was easier for me, and that doesn't give me any less right to be here than anybody else, and possibly even look into what they could do to make it easier for other people if that's something they're inspired to do. That sounds like really, really cool to me. Like, that to me is like, I have visions often of like, when I reach the level that I want to reach in my career, all the things that I want to do to help other people that may have not had the privilege that I have access it as well. And also this inauthenticity of, because they made it, because they're famous or whatever, I can't make it, or there's not enough room for me. This notion of the scarcity of opportunities. So just some things to ponder.